I did my Bollywood debut in Chandu Champion. It was based on the life of Shri Murlikant Petkar, who is a Padma Shri awardee. He got it in 2017. Who knew about him before that? So I think if you see the Padma Awards today, the way they are given or the way the people are selected, I think they are genuinely focusing on local heroes who deserve that kind of recognition, right? Now this is just one of the initiatives. There has been an immense churning even in the government, and I think the government has played a very big part in this cultural awakening. The Sangh, the BJP and Modi ji and all the think tanks. And I think it's a very good thing because we, I think personally, have been taught a very different history. We have been kept away from something that we should have known when we were small. In terms of infrastructure, it has been mind-boggling, the amount of work that has happened. The Atal Setu, it has genuinely been a game changer for somebody like me who frequently, almost twice, thrice a week travels from Mumbai to Pune or Pune to Mumbai. It has cut down my travel time. Not just Atal Setu, I haven't traveled on that road, but I've seen videos. I want to go on my bike. Is the Samriddhi Highway, and that also I think is a game changer. So all these roads, small projects in Pune where I stay, the metro, like it was inaugurated last year and some of it this year, and it's work in progress, and the rate at which the work is progressing, I think it is really good. The coastal road, it takes just like 4 minutes or 5 minutes, which earlier used to take like 45 minutes or half an hour. So yeah, these are things which are going to really change the face of Maharashtra and really improve the quality of life of the citizens of this state. The Gati Shakti master plan, basically it's a vision which the Prime Minister has laid forth in front of us for the next few decades, where it will be a network of excellent roads, railways, ports, seaways, all of this combined together, connecting all our cities, ports, so on and so forth. It saves money, it reduces pollution, it also does reduce your travel time many times. So I think all these things do translate directly to your growth, monetarily and also personally. जैसे पहले होता था, if government used to sanction money, say 100 rupees, only one used to reach the beneficiary. Today 100 directly, one click is going to crores of bank accounts directly. I think these are all changes. This came from the government, right? So the will and the vision has to be there. I want one nation, one election for one simple reason, that it is sustainable. You can't have the election machinery, you can't have our politicians, you can have the citizens of the country thinking of some election after every 6 months, 2 months. Every day there will be some election in India. There will be some, अभी ये election खत्म हो गया, उसके बाद ये assembly, उसके बाद लोकसभा, फिर ये बाईपोल, फिर ये वो.
Hey guys, welcome to the Viksit Bharat, Viksit Maharashtra podcast, where we explore ideas and stories that contribute to the vision of a developed India and a thriving Maharashtra. Today, we are thrilled to have a young and talented Marathi actor with us who represents a new generation full of energy, ambition and creativity. So let's dive in. Welcome to this podcast, Aroh.
Thank you. Hi. सारे दर्शकों को मेरा नमस्कार and belated happy Diwali. Hi.
All right, so let's get started. The fact that you've grown up in Maharashtra, I would want to know, how have you seen this state grow in the last decade or so?
I think firstly, I would say that I am very humbled, privileged and very lucky to be raised in a state like Maharashtra, because I think in the complex landscape that India has, I think the state of Maharashtra is genuinely one state where you have ample opportunities. You have a very complex, modern thinking, forward thinking society, industry. You see, it's like the economic engine of India. It has the highest contribution to GDP. So I think overall, also if you see, the city from where I come from, Pune, is called Oxford of the East. So we have a lot of good educational institutes. So in terms of education, health, safety, everything, it has the safest cities, so on and so forth. I think I'm really lucky to be born in the state of Maharashtra. So I'm a very proud Maharashtrian. And last 10 years, I think, are the years which I can really quantify, or I can really see the change. Uske pehle to I was just in college में तो your worldview is very restricted. You are into your own world with friends, doing your own thing, learning. But last 10 years since I started working, not just in the film industry, but also business, I think I have actually seen the change how the state in terms of its socio-political fabric has changed, how economically it has changed, how business has grown, so on and so forth. So last 10 years is what I think have really, for me, have been instrumental or pivotal in changing the look, face, feel and the performance of the state of Maharashtra. So, I mean, in our business, if you want to, because I always feel, I don't want to quote somebody else because I have personally firsthand seen how it has changed. If you see the film industry, okay, so because I work in both professions, the amount of money that Marathi films used to make 10, 12 years ago and the amount of money Marathi films make today, there's a huge difference.
What is this difference like, and how did it come about? If you can tell us about that.
There is a lot of things. I would say fresh talent, professionalism that has come as the industry grows. People become more and more professional. You get accustomed to a lot of practices and procedures which people follow in other big industries. For example, contracts. For example, the amount of money that they pay you. For example, the amount of not the amount, I would say how the films are made, how films are distributed, the audience. I think it has grown. Their appetite has grown. The choice of films that they like and they don't like, that has become very different. I think all these factors, the business aspect, it has all grown, right? And in business also, I mean, we were like 5 employees, today we are 25 employees. So we've added year on year people from all castes, from all age groups, from all geographic backgrounds to our company. So I think that is how I have firsthand seen how the state has grown in the last 10 years. In the last 5 to 7, 8 years, I think the FDI that has come in, right, in terms of money in the state for businesses, that has been good. In our industry, if you see few initiatives like the one-way window system for taking permissions for shootings, that has come in. So that has been like a very good initiative.
So
and
how does that, if you could tell us this one-way permission system.
So पहले क्या होता था? पहले, if for example, if you wanted to shoot on say some location which was controlled by the Archaeological Survey of India, for example, you had to basically go through the bureaucratic process. You had to take permissions from the local police station, from ASI, from the local maybe corporation or civic body or whatever, then other 3-4 permissions, then you had to bribe 3 or 4 people, and then finally you are allowed to shoot. But abhi kya hai? There's a one-way window system that you do. ये जो पूरा bureaucratic और ये जो permission का process था, that has been basically synced, or you can say streamlined into one single window where you can just take that one permission, apply for that one permission, and the government will give you that permission and nobody can contest that. So that has been really helpful. I think the film cities, there was one in Kolhapur which has been recently developed like anything. Film shootings used to happen in Mumbai, at least in Marathi, but in the last 10 years we've seen most of the television shoots happening in Kolhapur, in Sangli, in Satara, near Nasik. During COVID there were shootings happening near Silvassa, near the Mumbai border. So I think these are all things which are indicators of how the industry and the state and the artists and the people working in this state have diversified, and how the state and the people have grown.
All right. So I think that is very insightful, because we, I'm sure a lot of people did not know that there was this entire clearance system, the single window thing.
There was.
Okay. So, when I talk about infrastructure in the state, so how have you seen that come about? And other than that, if there are any specific changes that stand out to you apart from the film industry?
So, in terms of infrastructure, it has been mind-boggling, the amount of work that has happened. Just to give you a small example, because I stay in Pune and I work in Mumbai, or sometimes I stay in Mumbai and work in Pune, the Atal Setu, we have been hearing of this project since many years, but wo abhi hua in the last few years. I think it opened 2 years back or 1 year back, I think. And it has genuinely been a game changer for somebody like me who frequently, almost twice, thrice a week, travels from Mumbai to Pune or Pune to Mumbai. It has cut down my travel time, which is of utmost importance to me. And yes, it does have a toll, because a lot of people have a lot of issues while paying toll, but I think nothing is for free. The government is also spending something and they are charging you for all these facilities, so that's fine with me. But it has genuinely cut down the travel time by at least 45 minutes on peak hours.
So what difference does that make? Like, when I ask you the importance of this 45-minute.
So it just gives me a nice, I know for sure, okay, abhi Atal Setu hai, to what time I should leave. Earlier, now if I wanted to go for a meeting in Andheri, so now I know that I can go there in 2.5 hours. Earlier it used to take 3.5, sometimes if it was a very bad traffic situation, 3:45 or something like that. So I think just saving on that time, you get rest, you can halt on the mall, you can eat, you can chill. And time is money. So there is no direct conversion. कि अपने 45 minutes save किया, how did it help you? But it definitely does help you, because those 45 minutes in your day you can utilize for something else. Especially for somebody like me who is also doing business. तो वो 45 minutes में मैं यार I can make a few sales call. I can see my mails, I can talk to my engineers, I can do some of my daily chores. So I think that is really helpful to me. Not just Atal Setu. I haven't traveled on that road, but I've seen videos. I want to go on my bike. Is the Samriddhi Highway. And that also I think is a game changer. So, all these roads, small projects in Pune where I stay, the metro. I mean, the metro, जब मैं छोटा था तब से I had heard कि यहाँ पे metro आएगा, station आएगा, फिर ये होगा, वो होगा. But it happened right now. Like it was inaugurated last year and some of it this year. And it's work in progress, and the rate at which the work is progressing, I think it is really good. So I think these small projects are something which even as a layman you can see the difference and how it has helped me. So I stay in Vanas. Earlier, if you wanted to go to the airport in Pune, at least 1 hour it used to take. And my wife, she works in Kharadi. So from Vanas to Kharadi by car, if you go peak hours, it's 1.5 hours to 2 hours minimum drive. But if you go by metro, that travel time is 45 minutes.
Okay, so that
Straight.
should cut down. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think these are all small things which have improved my way of life or my quality of life. And this infrastructure, the rate at which this infrastructure is coming up is really good, mind-boggling actually. And I'm really looking forward to the next few years, what Maharashtra and this state has to offer.
Did you happen to experience the coastal roads that are being made in Mumbai?
No, so in Mumbai, yes, the coastal road also. But coastal road अभी सिर्फ एक ही patch बना है, that is from Nariman Point to अपना Worli. So yes, I have been on that road. That is also very nice. So see again, the coastal road, it takes just like 4 minutes or 5 minutes, which earlier used to take like 45 minutes or half an hour. So yeah, these are things which are going to really change the face of Maharashtra and really improve the quality of life of the citizens of this state.
The fact that cities are expanding, like, earlier everything was concentrated in these cities, which was leading to a lot of congestion, traffic congestion, everything was concentrated. Now the expansion is happening. How do you see this playing out in terms of the growth of industries in the state?
It's a global accepted fact that good roads, good infrastructure, good railway networks directly translate to your economic growth. Right? So if somebody is easily able to travel from a city like Nagpur to Pune or Mumbai in few hours, that directly translates to business, because he's going to sell his product or maybe his service, and there's no issue for him to reach out to people in Pune and Mumbai at a very short notice. I think it's a yes or no, I would say black and white question. Yes, definitely. If you have good roads, good quality of roads, and the travel times are less, it is directly going to affect your economy and it is going to help you grow exponentially. So, and that is what this government is doing. I think the Gati Shakti master plan, or initiatives like the Atal Setu, the coastal road, the Samriddhi Mahamarga, or the Mumbai Goa, Mumbai Bangalore, Pune Mumbai. There's one more hyperlink project which has been sanctioned. I think all these things will definitely help cut down the travel times, and it will improve businesses and help us grow.
So you are also an engineer. So that you mentioned about Gati Shakti master plan. How important is this plan from your perspective, if you can tell us?
So see, again, it's the same thing. Good railways. So Gati Shakti master plan, basically it's a vision which the Prime Minister has laid forth in front of us for the next few decades, where it will be a network of excellent roads, railways, ports, seaways, all of this combined together, connecting all our cities, ports, so on and so forth. And I think, yeah, I mean, if you go to any European country or US country, in USA, then, I mean, you see the public infrastructure. You don't feel the need of driving a car or using a cab. It is so good. You can travel from one point to another only by using a bus or a tram or an U-Bahn or an S-Bahn or whatever. And it saves money. It reduces pollution. It also does reduce your travel time many times. So I think all these things do translate directly to your growth, monetarily and also personally. So it is going to help us in terms of data points. I think there are a lot of papers, there are a lot of data points. If you see are all pointers in terms of GDP, if you see in terms of PPP, in terms of the amount of income that people used to earn 10 years back and now. These are all factors which have contributed to this. They have grown. So like I said, we had 5 employees, now we have 25 employees from all across the state, right? And we are paying them good salaries, right? 10 years ago जो उसका सैलरी था, अभी हम लोग उसको जो दे रहे हैं उसमें भी बहुत फर्क है.
Spending power भी
increase हुआ. Exactly. Why did it happen? Because we earned more money. Why did we earn more money? I'm not saying it was because we traveled on a good road, but these are things which help you. My material, अगर वो जल्दी पहुंचता है, it reduces cost of freight, it reduces cost of travel, which is a direct, benefit to me and my company. So it's like that. So I think this will help us, and the vision is really good. Both the state governments and the central government, they have a vision which I really like. And I've personally seen it in action. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So this Gati Shakti master plan is going to be a game changer.
So do you think India right now with its policies, we are trying to or we are matching up to the various standards in the Western countries? So like, since you travel a lot and you may have experienced certain things. So do you think we are matching up to that scale?
We are matching up. So I personally, we work in the research and development field. Okay. So we sell sensors and systems to all our research establishments, including defense and aerospace. One thing which I think this Make in India initiative is something which I have seen it has worked very, very well. One roadblock, or I think one challenge for us is to still we are not research oriented. So I think that is one thing in Make in India which should be nurtured, that we should nurture a research based approach while targeting anything, any product or any service or anything. But just to give you an example, so every year twice I travel to Europe for our principal, maybe sales kickoff or some technical forum. Earlier what used to happen is they had distributors from say 50 countries. तो हम लोग इंडिया के लोग साइड में कहीं पे होते थे, but because of this Make in India push, the amount of business that is coming in from abroad into India in terms of FDI, Google has set up their plant, Foxconn, Wistron, companies like Foxconn, all the Apple manufacturing is slowly shifting to India. Google is building their second largest manufacturing facility outside of USA in Hyderabad. It's almost like making a geopolitical statement. So all these things, when now we travel abroad, the principals look at us in a very different way. तो मराठीमध्ये म्हणतात ना एकदम भाव वाढलाय, तो बहुत now we are in the front rows, not in the 4th, 5th row. So this is what has happened in the last few years, and it's very important. So yeah, I have personally felt it again, and not just me. If you talk to anybody in MCCI or CII, I think I'm sure they will also say the same things.
As an individual, how do you feel जब international forums में, when we say country का महत्व, या the fact that country is being perceived in a different way than what it was maybe just a few years ago, how does it really feel as an individual to you?
Oh, I am a very staunch nationalist. So for me, country is always first, even when I'm acting or even when I'm into business or whatever. So for me, I feel very proud of it. I really feel very proud when CEO of some big company comes to me and really tells me on his own that I want to start something in India, please take that initiative and give us some numbers and give us a proposal, we want to do something in India. I think it's a very big compliment for me, and I feel very proud. And I think everybody who feels a thing or two about this country and who is doing something in his way for the development and prosperity of this land, I think everybody will feel proud.
Aatmanirbhar Bharat, this initiative is one of the most important ones in probably realizing the vision of making a Viksit Bharat by 2047. So, how do you see Atmanirbharta, especially since you mentioned that you are involved with the defense sector and everything? So, how do you see this? Because when we talk about defense manufacturing,
I think this all started during COVID, and I think hats off to Modi ji, you know, to give this approach when everybody else was suffering, to think of taking this, I would say, what do you say, this pandemic as an opportunity, and starting this initiative of Atmanirbhar Bharat. It is very important. You see how China, without firing one single bullet, got the entire world on its knees. So I think it is for us to now realize that फायनली ॲट द एंड ऑफ द डे, जसे हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, की मराठीमध्ये म्हणतात की किती बाहेरचं खाल्लं तरी शेवटी घरचंच, तो घरीच यावं लागतं, घरचंच जेवण लागतं. सो our people are only going to be there who are going to help you in the end, and it's going to be people, our companies, our organizations. When it comes to situations like, say, a COVID or a Russia-Ukraine war, or say something that is happening in Israel-Palestine, I think what is going to matter is how self-reliant you are. Okay, because if you are dependent on somebody for something very critical, especially in a sector like defense, they are not going to help you when the time comes, or they will try to arm twist you into doing something which they don't want or they want. For example, if you see this oil crisis which happened, everybody pressurized India to not buy oil from Russia, but we still did it, So I think all these EV, focusing on electric vehicles, this Atmanirbhar Bharat in defense especially, now they've classified vendors based on categories, So our business, we used to import everything and sell. Now, because of Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat, we are compelled to add a local component in our products. And I'm telling you, if this wouldn't have been there, probably this Atmanirbharta and Make in India thing wouldn't have been on our mind as a company. But now we are forced or pushed to do this, which I think is a very big thing and a good thing for our country. Because if I'm buying some cables or some local components locally, I'm giving business to that guy, who in turn is giving business to somebody. He's employing somebody, right? So it's a chain. So I have personally, again, like I said, I think these are all game changers. Atmanirbharta, and the landscape is rapidly changing in our favor. And one more thing which I would like to mention here is, this is exactly what China did 40 years back. You have to understand today, India and China, if you only see the population, we are the largest domestic market. Like if you only focus on India, right, what is China doing? It's like an iron curtain, right? They sell products locally. Even if they don't get business from outside, it doesn't matter, because their domestic economy in itself, the consumption is so big. Like how did they go there? Is through all these initiatives. And I think we are also doing it. It's a very good thing. It will take some time for us to become Atmanirbhar. But yes, definitely it is happening rapidly. And it will, I don't know how many years, but definitely we will be there one day. And then we will genuinely be self-reliant, where people in India will be buying products from India, and then you don't have to rely on somebody else for anything like technology. One thing which is missing, which I think, because I work in the engineering field, especially on the research side, is we need a research approach. We are still stuck in the L1 mentality is what I feel. We know of many people who they claim that they are doing something in India, but basically what they are doing is just white labeling goods. I would appreciate that if genuinely we are manufacturing not just the wrapper, but the intellectual properties, like the secret sauce of all these big companies. We should be developing all these things here. So I think that is missing. I think more research should happen in India, and then we will be more Atmanirbhar.
This year, Prime Minister Modi inaugurated the National Research Foundation, Rashtriya Anusandhan Kendra. So that, I believe, has been done with a purpose. So how do you think this is going to solve the research requirements of the country? Because research is something that has always been ignored. So now with this, do you see this key area being addressed?
So, like it has started, right? So, if you travel abroad, or you interact with people abroad, you will see that they will go for what is best, not for what is the cheapest. हमारे यहाँ पे थोड़ा क्या है for example, if I have to sell one product, the deciding factor will be price. I'm not saying that that should not be the thing, but technical superiority and all these things should also matter. I think this approach has to come, and it will not come by inaugurating just one institute. This is definitely one start. I think this will happen over a course of few years, and institutes like these which Modi ji inaugurated, I think are going to help us a lot, and it is a step in the right direction.
Research mein funds are something that is always a problem. Yes. So with the research foundation, I believe it aims to provide that critical component, funds, jisse this can be aided. So do you think because nobody really wants to pour in, private sector will
not just this foundation, even right now there are a lot of subsidies. There are a lot of PLI schemes which you can avail. There are government PSUs like CMTI or CRA or somebody who can collaborate with you and partly fund your project if you are doing something. So there are avenues available. Like you can avail loans for that matter if you want to start a startup, if you're doing some research, if there is a product which you have in mind, and if you launch that product, if you register a company. So you can definitely do it. But yes, ये जो funding का part है, that is I would say a roadblock, and institutes and a few more schemes and maybe scholarships or something like that might solve the issue, and these are all steps in the right direction is what I feel.
आपने इंडस्ट्री का कोलैबोरेशन बढ़ता हुआ देखा है, like industry partnering with especially they're fulfilling their research requirements with educational institutes like IITs and all of that.
Yeah. So IITs are like premier institutes, and I think the most premier, all the IITs, they churn out superb engineers, and all the research that happens. I mean, if you see the top companies today or startups today, I think most of them would be founded by IITs. I'm not sure, I don't have data, but it's just a guess. But we work with many of them, and yes, we have seen a lot of collaborations firsthand. I have seen them not just in India, even abroad. Like I said, people want to collaborate with us. They want to start something here. They are ready to share their secret sauce with us, and it's just that you have to grab onto that opportunity and just start doing it, and just do it. Yeah. And IITs mein to, if you see big companies like say a Siemens or they have these incubation centers, or they have yearly sponsorship programs. They collaborate, they barter, they set up their labs, something like that, in IIT Madras, IIT Mumbai, IIT Kharagpur, Delhi. So yes, these collaborations we have personally seen, they have been happening since a long time. And they are slowly growing also, not just IITs, NITs, BITS, even private institutes like MIT, where I studied, they also have these collaborations. Yeah.
So how have you seen the startup ecosystem in Maharashtra evolve? Like Maharashtra has the honor of having the highest number of unicorns. So how do you how do you see this thing that has this reputation that Maharashtra has earned?
Like I said in my opening remarks, I am very privileged to be in this state. And the problem right now, I think it's very good that we have the largest number of unicorns, but I would like to see these unicorns spread all across Maharashtra and not just in Pune, Mumbai, and say one Nagpur or Nasik or something like that. They should come from all across the state. And I think this will happen when I would say, startups are not just about technology or making a car or making some technology driven product. It can be something related to agriculture. It can be something related to hospitality. It can be a lot of other sectors as well. Tourism, I don't know. But so I would really love to see startups like unicorn startups coming from all across the state. And what is there to see? Like I said, I am part of this ecosystem. I have a MSME. We are not a startup, but yes, we know a lot of startups. We see I am part of MCCI and CII. We know what amazing work people are doing. So I know. So as an actor, they had come to me recently, just last week. I'll just tell you how amazing things what people are doing. So there is a startup. They have made a product basically where using face recognition, they identify if you're 18 years or not. Yeah, and they are pitching this product to all these. You know what happened in Pune, right? That 17-year-old guy. It was national news.
The car crash.
The car crash. Yeah, the two people were killed. So there was a lot of backlash from the people that how can this happen and all of that. I think so. Compliances and regulations have really increased for these pubs and restaurants. So he's going to pitch it to them and the government that you make this, you know. So it's a startup and it's such an amazing product. If you see all across India, see the number of clubs or number of pubs or number of restaurants or bars which will require this kind of identification. So he's done it. I mean, using facial recognition, he's developed some product which recognizes if you're 18 years or not.
How accurate is this? If you
I
have
have
more
no clue
information.
technically.
Okay.
They had just come to me because they wanted me to endorse that thing. So, but yeah, I'm just giving you an example, right?
Yeah.
So these are the amazing things that people are doing in Maharashtra. So yeah, we will grow like anything, and small things like I said, the landscape is not going to change overnight. There are few roadblocks, but one thing is for sure that the vision is definitely there today, which was not there 10 years ago. Today you feel a lot more positive when you're doing business or when you're doing something on your own in this country, that okay, I can do it, which was not the case. पहले से क्या रहे, नहीं ये नहीं होगा, फिर ये कौन करेगा, पैसे कहाँ से आएंगे, फिर bureaucrats will trouble me, this will happen, that will happen. But all these things have now streamlined. In customs, like which is the department which we deal day in and day out, because of the RMS automated system now, we don't have to face the officers anymore. You know, the number of queries have drastically come down. So things are changing very slowly. We've seen it happen. So how do I see this landscape of ecosystems? I feel great. I feel proud. I think Maharashtra should be number one for the next whatever years. Yes.
आपको इसमें गवर्नमेंट की विल का कितना वो लगता है? बिकॉज लाइक वी हैव हैड वेरियस गवर्नमेंट्स, 77 इयर्स ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस.
बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. सी गवर्नमेंट इज समथिंग, लोगों को क्या लगता है गवर्नमेंट ने हमारा बिजनेस करना चाहिए, लाइक दे शुड हेल्प अस इन ग्रोइंग आवर बिजनेस. नो, गवर्नमेंट इज गोइंग टू टेक अ पॉलिसी डिसीजन. मेहनत आपको ही करना पड़ेगा. सो फ्रॉम देयर साइड आई थिंक व्हाट आई सेड, विजन एंड द विल पावर to help industry, to help entrepreneurs and to help their citizens grow is very important, which I think is there. So if you know digital transactions, one thing which has changed the landscape, like literally now when I go abroad, cash की आदत ही नहीं है. It becomes difficult. Honestly, if you travel now with UPI, you don't use cash. I hardly have like 20-30 rupees in my wallet. I don't use cash. But if you go abroad, आपको कैश में ही करना पड़ता है मोस्टली, या फिर क्रेडिट कार्ड. बट क्रेडिट कार्ड आई डोंट यूज बिकॉज इट्स नॉट सेफ. आई वांट टू स्वाइप माय कार्ड एवरीवेयर आई गो, एट द टैक्सी, ये वो. कैश इज, बट यूपीआई इज सो नाइस.
कभी मुश्किल हुआ लाइक व्हेन यू वर इन अदर कंट्रीज? कभी
अभी लास्ट 2 weeks back only I was there, and I discussed this with my wife. I said, yeah, I'm tired, I don't want to go and withdraw cash all the time, and I also don't want to use my card everywhere because it's not, I don't find it safe. You know, and it's very challenging. You go and उसमें क्या है, सेंट्स पे होता है वो. It's like you इतना मतलब कैश, सिक्कों का इतना मतलब क्या बोलते हैं उसको, भंडार जमा हो गया मेरे हाथ में, उसको मैं क्या करूँगा. You know, so cash has completely vanished from my psyche at least. And if you see 10 years back, if you would have, even in the parliament, if you see the debates, you had people who were saying, ye kaise hoga? How will you have somebody staying in the local flea market? Will she have a machine? All of that. But now if you go, even your bhaji wala, I have seen beggars with UPI.
Yes,
I'm not kidding. I have seen this, and I actually gave him money just for the fact that he was taking online. But you know, this is what is happened. And these are things which are happening, and so this came from the government, right? That we have to push everybody, or even the Aadhaar card. The beauty of the Aadhaar card system in India is that it is controlled by the government, not by Google. In other countries, firstly, you don't have this unit identification, which is linked to your bank account, which is also linked to your driving license, which is also linked to your 10 other identification and government documents, whatever. So, and this is all controlled by the government, right? So you have one database. Now, how this did help us? indirect benefit transfers. Earlier, जैसे पहले होता था, if government used to sanction money, say 100 rupees, only one used to reach the beneficiary. Today, 100 directly, one click is going to crores of bank accounts directly. I think these are all changes. This came from the government, right? So the will and the vision has to be there. And from a citizen point of view, I think many times people, because they are very emotional, they consider government to be the business. They are not here to do business. They are going to help you or just guide you or give you a nice vision and a road so that you can walk. So I think that is definitely there, and that I have seen in the last 10 years personally. So from the government, vision and willpower is very important. They have to put in place policies. They have to get rid of roadblocks in terms of taxation, in terms of rules and regulations, what is good, what is not. GST, again, I think it was a game changer for everybody. One nation, one tax. Next, what I think should happen is one nation, one election.
Yeah, what is your opinion? Because we would definitely want to know.
My opinion on one nation, one election is I want one nation, one election for one simple reason, that it is sustainable. You can't have the election machinery, you can't have our politicians, you can have the citizens of the country thinking of some election after every 6 months, 2 months. Every day there will be some election in India. There will be some, अभी ये इलेक्शन खत्म हो गया, उसके बाद ये असेंबली, उसके बाद लोकसभा, फिर ये बाईपोल, फिर ये वो तो चलता ही रहता है. So I think that is not sustainable and the right way to do. I think even our politicians, if I would have been a politician, I would have liked, okay, after every 5 years I have to do politics. For 4.5 years, I have to only do welfare. Then my chances of thinking about politics and all that comes with it, money, whatever, my emotional, financial, mental space, that is only reserved for the last 6 months. But 4.5 years, then I'm only focusing on welfare. I think this is the biggest part that I think is advantageous. And yes, we should have one nation, one election. We should have uniform civil code. All these things I think are very important for India today, and they're going to help us grow. Yes.
So, considering, I'm sure you are very active on social media as well. How important is social media in shaping the views of the younger generation? Because as we are consuming content all the time, how are they really shaping their socio-political outlook, views? What is your take?
Very important. I mean, it's a boon and a bane, and you have seen people use it for good, and you must have also seen people using it for bad. Like, it's very easy to just put something on social media, like an image or a small post, which can trigger lakhs and thousands and crores of people, and for no reason create unrest. At the same time, you can have a small post or a small video which can make crores of people happy. So I think it comes with a lot of responsibility, and today's politicians are using it. Some are using it very well, some are not using it very well. But I think for the younger generation and for the public in general today, I think social media plays a very important role in shaping opinions. Yeah, I think it is very important, and it's a very dangerous tool as well if somebody decides to use it, like you saw during the Lok Sabha elections, or if you've seen, where people just, they put some status on WhatsApp and then the police has to impose some curfew. So, so it's very dangerous also. So, yeah.
So, in today's times, how can youth make the most of the opportunities that are available online while also staying rooted in the values of their culture and community?
Online, what opportunities can they find online? See, I think online is just a medium. Like, first, I think what you should do, or any young person should do, is find what he likes or what he wants to do. And then the online sphere or the online platform or whatever is going to be that medium which is going to help him reach out to other customers or other people. Like, it can be anything. It can be his work. If he's a social worker, for example, and he decides to help a particular community, then I think social media or this online ecosystem is then going to help him reach out to other people, or maybe help him to, whatever he's doing in his area socially, is going to help him to, connect to other people's, other walks of life, maybe generate funds, Maybe if he's selling something made by tribals, then he'll find an e-commerce website which will help him sell his product. So there are a lot of opportunities. So this online social media thing today is, I think, a brilliant marketing tool for anybody and everybody who wants to showcase their work, sell products, sell services, or showcase themselves, or not just that, even some social work, or maybe you just want to show that something like this is happening. Just like news, you have a free platform where you can just go shoot videos and put them out on social media and let people know that something like this is happening. So there are a lot of opportunities. I think this online ecosystem should be used by young professionals or young people as a tool to showcase themselves in a good way to their audience or the people they want to connect with.
Like, how much of cultural themes are you noticing in the cinema today, be it Marathi cinema or Bollywood for that matter? Because in the country, culture is something, or culture and religion is something that has really come up, and people are taking pride in various ways. They are trying to look back at their history, especially with movies like Tanhaji, and
Yes.
there is this pride element associated. And
So the
what's
film
your-
industry
Huh.
and arts, media and entertainment in general, I think it's like a mirror. And whatever is happening around you, the socio-political, socio-economic factors that affect you as a person or as a society, they generally end up in films. Like 10 years ago, a film like Tanaji wouldn't have worked. Today, if you see Tanaji, in Marathi, maybe Pawan Khind, or film like Dharmavir, their biggest hits, like earning crores of rupees at the box office. Why? Because people want to watch such stuff. And there has been, I think, a cultural awakening of sorts, that people are slowly going back to their roots, taking interest in what it was before, taking interest in our history, in our heritage, in our customs, traditions, finding local heroes, So I think it's a very important thing. We have seen this cultural awakening of sorts. At the same time, from a content perspective, because of OTT, we have opened up to everybody in the world, right? So on Netflix, you can watch a Korean drama, you can watch a German film, you can watch content from all languages, from all kinds of subjects, from horror to comedy to anime to anything. So I think the sensibilities of the audiences are also rapidly changing. So it puts a pressure on us as actors and filmmakers that you have to now make a product which is good as in not just acceptable to somebody who's paying 600 rupees in the theater, but even as a film or as a product, it has to be good. If somebody is watching, say, a show like a Breaking Bad, or any international show which is popular, his sensibilities are going to be very different. And people, you might think that, okay, why will a guy in, say, a small tier 3 place in Maharashtra watch Breaking Bad? No, but they are watching it. They are watching all kinds of content, and their sensibilities are changing. It puts a lot of pressure on us. And so the onus is on us to make good films, good content. But at the same time, like I said, we have seen this cultural awakening also, where films like Ramayana, or you saw Ramayana when COVID was telecast again, it got highest TRP on TV. So people want to watch all these things now, and I think it happens. It's our industry is like a mirror. So every time you see a change around you, politically, socially, you end up watching that kind of content.
How important has the government's role been, when it comes to reviving or honoring our history and historical icons and cultural icons?
I did my Bollywood debut in Chandu Champion. Okay. It was based on the life of Shri Murlikant Petkar, who is a Padma Shri awardee. He got it in 2017. Who knew about him before that? So I think if you see the Padma Awards today, the way they are given, or the way the people are selected, I think they are genuinely focusing on local heroes who deserve that kind of recognition, right? Now, this is just one of the initiative. There has been an immense churning even in the government, and I think the government has played a very big part in this cultural awakening, the Sangh, the BJP and Modi ji and all the think tanks. And I think it's a very good thing, because we, I think personally, have been taught a very different history. We have been kept away from something that we should have known when we were small. For example, if you see our history books, right, or our freedom struggle, there is no mention of revolutionaries. There is, but it's like a passing remark, you can say. It's not like, but they were pretty mainstream. If you see the work, if you read Sanjeev Sanyal's book about revolutionaries, you'll get to know that, okay, this was a very much mainstream movement. It was not something which happened somewhere in Pune and somewhere in Kolkata and somewhere down south. It was like a legit movement which helped us get freedom. We were taught about the Mughal Empire, but we were not taught about the Chola Empire. We were not taught about the Ahoms, you know. The Chola Empire, they ruled for what? More than 1,000 years, you know, and we know about the Roman dynasty, which ruled only for 600 years. But we don't know of a king who ruled for more than 1,000 years, who was from India. His capital was down south. You know, he had the largest navy in the world at that time. They were the richest empire. So, you know, small things like this we don't know, and they have been kept away from us, I think. And the government has played a very big part in getting these things to light, or maybe just provoking us into finding out these things, or maybe believing in ourselves. So Aatmanirbhar Bharat, make in India, you know, these are things which make you feel good, you know. So this feel good has come because somebody has pushed us to do something, right? So that push has definitely come from them, and yeah, it's a very good thing.
How do you feel when a teen or somebody really young takes interest in the past, in the cultural past?
I feel very good. One of my brothers, actually, he was doing a lot of research in between about Rig Veda and our Vedas in general. Yeah, so, and also he's a part-time pujari. I mean, people call him to do puja at home. So I really feel good about that. I like, he's doing his thing. He has his own business or whatever, but he's also researching about something, and he also does something which he feels good, and it is related to our history, our culture, our tradition, our customs, and all of that. So I feel really good about that when I hear people talk about our history, or maybe they talk about our country and how they are going to contribute to it and all of that. I think it's a very good thing.
So before we wind up, I'll want to know from you, what role do you think Maharashtra will be playing in realizing the vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047, since there is a $1 trillion economy goal as well? So what do you have to say?
Maharashtra contributes, you know, there are, actually I read a very interesting study. It was online only on Twitter, that 13 districts from India contribute to the maximum part of GDP. And maximum comes from Maharashtra, right? So Maharashtra is number one in GDP domestically. They have maximum number of startups. Mumbai is the financial capital. Maximum FDI comes to Maharashtra now. So I think it is going to play a very important role. And people like me, who are young, who are working, who want to do something for this state and for the country, are going to play a very important role in shaping our future. So I would like to appeal to all your audiences and whoever is watching this podcast, my fans and everybody, that no matter what you do, even if you're making a film, even if you're maybe studying, or even if you're taking an interview, for example, just remember that you're playing a small part in building this nation and this state and this country. So give it your best, and the next 25 years belong to India, and it is our responsibility to make that happen. So whatever Amrit Kal or the vision our Prime Minister and everybody has kept for us, it is our responsibility to live up to that and make that a reality. So yes, youngsters and the state of Maharashtra are going to play a very important role in the next 25 years to come.
With that, I think it is time to wind this excellent podcast up. Thank you so much, Aroh, for joining us today. It has been a very insightful and a lovely discussion.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And I wish everybody a very happy new year in advance. And let's talk after a few months again, or maybe a few years, on this channel, on this podcast, and discuss few other things. So thank you for having me. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.